not all members go to union meetings. We know that.
Oh, guilty. Very guilty on that one. But it's also hard too. Like, for example, myself, right? And this is just my situation is I'm gone for minimum a week at a time, or sometimes 2 months straight before I come home. And the last thing I want to do is anything work related. I just want to spend time with my family because I have a week or 10 days of quality time. And usually that quality time is I have X amount of hours in the evening with my fiance and X amount of hours in the evening with my daughter.
Mhm.
And then it's trying to catch up around the house with house chores, dogs, like just keeping things rolling because when I'm not home, my fiance holds the house down.
Mhm.
So it's just trying to give her a break. And it sounds bad as a union member, and I know this, but it's
No,
just
right.
like the last thing I want to do is just listen to more scaffolders bitch and complain
Yeah.
after I've listened to it for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, right?
Well, we can be getting the messaging out on social media. We can be getting the messaging out at the job sites, talking to members at the job sites. Obviously not while they're working, but during the lunch breaks or, so on and so forth.
I know, for example, I don't know if every other union does it, but I believe the carpenters allow you to attend the meetings
Virtually.
online, virtually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some unions have been moving in that direction,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good thing. I think at the beginning of the pandemic, there wasn't the openness, or prior to the pandemic, there wasn't the openness of moving to that direction because of privacy and concerns that information was going to be getting leaked out. And so they were very hesitant of doing it in that
In that, yeah.
fashion. But the pandemic sure opened things up in regards to virtual meetings, also with us too.
So what about, like, let's say things go to a vote. What about that? Like, people, do they have to attend and go in person and hand in a ballot, or can things that people want to vote for be done electronically? Number of topics or things that they want to see happen, can that be a possibility?
And that changes from union to union as well,
Mm-hmm.
because they not just they have to abide by their bylaws, they have to abide by the constitution as well.
Yeah.
So different unions give the ability to vote electronically. So I'm going to say this much though: things are moving forward, maybe not lightning fast in regards to online voting for issues, but it is moving in that direction that I think even the internationals realize that we need to start getting up to date with the technological advances that have been happening over the last 40 years.
Because if I may,
Yeah.
let's say you have 10,000 members in a union, right? And if there's a way that they could, whatever your take on AI is, just hear me out on this. Maybe they use AI to bring up highlighted topics in that meeting so it can be condensed. And these are the key points of that meeting. Okay. These are the concerns. Here's the key points. Well, maybe there was something missed in that meeting and people can just send in an email regarding that meeting, and boom, we have now 1,500 emails about this one specific topic, right? And we're taking things to a vote. Well, this is also an issue, let's bring it to the table. I think that could also help members out too, because whatever someone, like, I know our employers will let us leave. For example, if we're in Fort McMurray, you want to go attend a meeting, you're allowed to leave. You're given that right, right? Or same with working in the Edmonton area. That is your right to go to a meeting. Whether or not people actually follow through with it, that's on them. But in the event that's like, I don't really want to take the hour drive from, say, Syncrude or Suncor or whatever it is into town and back. There's 2 hours in my day. I don't want to do that. But I could get the meeting condensed. I could see it on my phone and whatever issues or votes are coming up or things that I think I'd like to bring forward. And it could essentially be like, okay, this is a common trend or a common concern. Maybe that could be a solution to the lack of individuals or attending those meetings too, if that's even a possibility.
I think we're moving in that direction. If you look at, let's say, 30 years ago, where if you wanted to vote on that collective agreement, you would have to come into the hall and fill out a ballot on the assigned date in order to vote on that collective agreement. Unions have progressed from that to actually doing mail outs, or they'll allow the mailouts. Unions are starting to move more towards using technology in order to take the opinions of, or take the votes of, members out there on certain issues. And especially if you look at the way even our banking is, we can do the dual verification stuff, because that's the concern is, okay, that ballot goes to my home address, but I'm in Fort McMurray, and I don't know, maybe my kid's going to fill that out. Maybe my wife will fill it out, or maybe it won't even get to me and someone else will fill out that ballot.
Mhm.
So there's always that concern that it's not going to be you, but technology hasn't changed over the last, 20, 30 years here. And we can verify that it is going to actually be you that's voting on things. And so I think that we're catching up to it. It's going to take a while, but we're going to get there. And I could see even some of the locals in the United States, and well, more in the States, that are moving in that direction. And the internationals are allowing them to move to it. So it is progressing. And like even with union meetings, I'm starting to see more and more union meetings now being held virtually as well as in person. So that's a good sign too. It gives the ability of members that are in Fort McMurray or working in rural locations the ability to attend.
If I may. So I'm a new union member, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay. I joined the hall, and the only thing I'm focused on is I got a kid on the way. I just want to work.
Mhm.
What are the benefits to me as a member to attend these meetings?
The benefits of you attending those meetings is having a better understanding of which direction, and not just which direction, but giving direction back to the leadership that was voted in by the membership to the direction in which they should be going to. So it could be on passing, voting on, if you're donating money to a charity. That's the charity is not a good one, but let's say you're donating some resources to something or doing something. It gives the union member that ability to have that input in the direction of the union, because it is a democratic organization, and it gives that member that ability. That was a long way of talking around it,
Very
but
political. Okay.